We're back for another very special episode of Smart Financial Jewels with a very special guest of mine. We've had him actually on the show, I think, during our first or second season, and I've worked with this king in the creative space. He's definitely a filmmaker, director, entrepreneur, I believe even an author, or if not, I'm speaking into his future that he's definitely going to be an author in the future. He's doing great things in the film and also creative space and industry. And he's going to come on to talk to us about one of his biggest creative projects known to this day, and what he and also his co-director and filmmaker are working on. And so without further ado, y'all know we also interview entrepreneurs and content creators or creatives for the Smart Financial Jewels show. And so let's get ready to have you all meet my very special guest, Mr. Vega Montanez. Vega, how you doing, King?
What's up, brother? How you?
Doing well, man. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and
My
talk
busy
to us.
schedule. You the
Uh,
one traveling around the world.
Yeah, man, we're trying to do a little something, man, to show people that they can work in their destination of choice. And so we just wanted to thank you, King, for taking time out of your week to share some financial jewels and some content creator jewels of wisdom with our audience. But for those who may not know you, can you introduce yourself formally to our audience, to tell people a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, and even where you're tuning in with us today for your interview?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. It's a massive support that any interview or any type of press engagement is for the film. So super excited to be here. This is gonna be like you said. This is my biggest film to date, biggest creative project to date, starting in music and transitioning into film early 2019, and now here we are with a couple of films under my belt, and it's been quite an exciting, crazy journey, crazy process that I love to talk about. So that's a little bit about me. I was, born in New York, raised primarily in Providence, Rhode Island. Back here talking to you from the Bronx, and just was hosting the Dominican Film Festival red carpet yesterday here in New York. So it's been a crazy week, but an exciting week.
I love that, man. I love that, and shout out to all the West Indians too. I forgot to mention,
Yes, indeed.
definitely Vega is West Indian Caribbean, and so we always gotta give big up and love to any of our West Indian or Caribbean content creators or entrepreneurs. And so definitely shout out to all the West Indians. But yeah, let's start from I know your basis, Vega. I know you worked on, as you said, a ton of creative projects. Like, talk to those who are dreamers, those who are content creators, those who are maybe self-starters that want to create this type of film, this type of project. Like, how much follow through, how much discipline, how much being able to be patient goes into making this type of project a reality. Like, talk to the people about your process of actually seeing it through and making it a reality. Like, how did you do it, and also what would you recommend someone do to make their dream of wanting to do this particular project a reality?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my mom instilled this wisdom and principle on me, so I'm more so passing her wisdom forward to everybody else. But ultimately, in the most simple way, we're all people, right? We're all capable of doing the same thing. So if you see something that someone else is doing and you want to do that, all it really is going to take is commitment and effort. And that's the most important part is the commitment and effort, because that's what's going to drive you to keep pivoting every time you feel like you failed or every time you feel like you're stalled. It lets you keep maneuvering around whatever barriers are making themselves possible, or making themselves present rather, uh, as you try to continue making these projects come to life, especially and I love that we're on this. Now that I think about it, I love that we're on this podcast specifically talking about this, because it's a huge aspect of what I love talking about in the creative space. It is the business side of it, where not enough of us as creatives take the time or spend the time in the business element of our creative work. And I understand, I respect the aspect of, creativity is art, and art is beautiful, and art should be cherished and all this stuff. But ultimately, art takes resources to make. So you have to put yourself in a position where you can continue generating the resources you need to create the art you want to create, whether you want to maximize its commercial profitability, or if you just want to be able to stay self-sustained. Ultimately, that resource of money, as creatives, we have to build a different relationship with it. Right now, we have such a toxic relationship with the idea of money. And I actually got to give credit to my friend Manny Ventura, who tried to instill that into me a few years back. And it just took a little while to develop, but like I fully align with that mentality now, where it's not so much about getting rich, it's just about staying alive to make what you want to make. I'm not sure if that fully answered the question.
Oh no, 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 you're right on point with that, King. No, you're right on point with that too. And even like you were saying, I know you mentioned Manny sewing into you that jewel early on. Like, did you have any people that were pushing you throughout the process, or do you have any mentors or any guides that you usually rely on to help you stay accountable to what you said you're going to do? Like, talk about the process of your support system or your support team when it comes to creative projects.
So it's interesting you asked that. I'm gonna address like the back end of that first, which was about the accountability piece, right? So I don't necessarily have anyone that holds me accountable, or any specific people or person I go to. But one thing that I found is that before, I used to have a really bad problem with finishing things. Like I would get really excited about starting, get to a certain point, and then just be like, all right, somebody just take it from here, because like all of the work is pretty much done. Just wrap it up. And then obviously those never really happen. But over the last 5 or 6 years or so, my commitment to other people's success kind of shifted a bit, in a way where now when I work in group projects, which is one of the big things that film allows me to do, it gives me this extra resurgence of energy to finish what we did, so I don't let the people around me down. So that accountability is there, but it's less of a dialogue and more of a it just exists, right? Like I can't look these people who work so hard alongside me to get this thing done, and be the person that's not letting it finish, or not be a part of whatever it needs to happen to get it finished. On the mentor side, there's a ton of people that I met along the way, no matter where our relationships stand right now, that influence you whether they intend to or not. And I think that's a really key element, especially in my opinion, with the way social media has driven people's lack of the ability to socialize in person. You have to take these moments and these jewels from every conversation you have. Every person you engage with is going to bring something to the